There's a magical time and we're on our way there, with Johns in their millions, all WTF, it's called John O'Clock. Soon after SmackDown, when King Ross awakes, John, Dave and Mauro have stocked up their moments, WTF. There's millions of John O'Clocks, all waxer shirts. It's called John O'Clock, John O'Clock, John O'Clock. Pre-order this f***ing shirt now. Yes, that's right, you set of marks. Pre-order this f***ing t-shirt now. It's the fastest selling shirt in WhatCulture history. Do not miss out. Ha ha ha! My pockets are f***ing full of ducats. Oh. Yes, I'm King Ross. It's that time of the bastard week once again where we take a look at all of the WTF moments from WWE RAW. WWE RAW that was rather good compared to recent weeks. It's also the go-home show for Clash of Champions. Clash of the f***ing hell. And we kick off with a sign, a Piers Morgan sign. Who the f*** would take a Piers Morgan sign to a wrestling event? Piers Morgan is a phone hacking c***. For the second point, we have a few more signs. Signs for myself, mainly myself. Mainly, of course, myself, because I'm the best here at WhatCulture. And for Sam. Sam had another sign for a second week in a row. Gone on, Sam. Thank you to Scott Breezy, a man, I think that's how you pronounce his name, a man we met in Dallas, for the signs. Thank you, good sir. What's that I hear you cry? Stephanie McMahon emasculating a male talent when she cut off Roman Reigns from talking right at the start of the show. What's that I hear you cry? You hear me saying? And then we have the moment where Steph said to Roman she knew he had a path of destruction that he wanted to go on, but she had a show to run. Why the f*** did you let him out through Gorilla then, Steph? Why did you not just stop him there? Roman, mate, I've got a show to run. Don't go out there. You're wasting valuable time, pal. That would have fixed the problem, wouldn't it? Instead of wasting our f***ing time with irrelevant speech. Bullshit. Get this right. Mick Foley actually said Clash of Champions rather than Clash of the Champions, which is the WCPW version of the same event that's taking place on Sunday. I actually said Clash of Champions after saying Night of Champions on last week's episode. WTF all round, motherfuckers. That moment where Mick Foley said that WWE RAW are engaged in a fight for their own survival against WWE SmackDown Live. Why the f*** are you lying to us, Mick? Why the f*** are you promoting SmackDown during the course of your own show if you're in a fight for survival against them? Surely it would make sense for you not even to acknowledge they're alive and well and a working brand. So we don't tune over, tune it button. Fuck you, making your stupid illogical speeches. Get this right, Grado had a sign live on WWE RAW. That's Grado, who's never appeared in WWE. Grado, who doesn't look like he will ever appear in WWE. Grado, who does appear in WCPW. So if you're a fan of that It's Yourself sign malarkey, just go on and watch him. WCPW, that's better than WWE, is the sign of lost perspective that had proved last week. How have they got them lads in, eh? So last week on WWE RAW, you will have seen Roman Reigns getting screwed out of a WWE Universal Championship opportunity by my bae, Ruru. Ruru interfered in the match with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens won the match. Roman Reigns' opportunity, the WWE Universal Championship, gone. Kaput. In the arsehole royally. So on this week's show, General Manager Mick Foley said he was going to put the situation right for Reigns after he got screwed out of that match last week by booking Reigns in a United States Championship match against Rusev. And then after this United States Championship match was booked, booking Reigns in a steel cage match against Kevin Owens with diddly squat on the line. Roman Reigns got screwed again. Mick Foley inserted a barbed wire straight up Roman Reigns' arsehole. Why does Mick Foley hate Roman Reigns so much? Why is Mick Foley an internet smark like you and I? I don't know. Yes, there is plural. It doesn't need the apostrophe. It's not possessive to anything in the sentence before it. I have a degree in journalism. No apostrophe needed. Idiots! How about that moment where Michael Cole said that Seth Rollins was perched on the announce table which was high above the arena? Yes, that announce table that if you put it side by side with a ring, is probably no higher than the top turnbuckle. In fact, it even looked lower. How's that meant to be even so slightly impressive at all? As Shania Twain once said, who is my favourite songstress who isn't Sue Metteur from Baby Metteur, didn't you know? That don't impress me much, mother. What's that? Sasha and Bailey against Dana and Charlotte, a Battleground rematch? Whoa! Right then, so how long did that graphic for the WWE RAW Cruiserweight division last on the screen for? It's almost as if Michael Cole should have been talking over the graphic telling us who was coming up and blah 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 blah. There's one explanation for this, motherfuckers. Kevin Dunn, yes, Kevin Dunn pressed the button for that graphic to appear on screen. Obviously his jaw would have been hurting with his mouth very much full of teeth. So he probably put them in a jar and then put that jar on the button that turned Michael's microphone up, so Michael was there talking in the arena live, but we weren't hearing anything on our screens. Kevin Dunn, he f***ed up once again. Get this right, Sethy Poo. Seth Rollins called it Night of Champions instead of Clash of Champions. I did that same mistake on last week's WWE RAW WTF Moments video. Right then, since Seth made the same mistake that I made on last week's WWE RAW WTF Moments video, it's only fair on my part that if I make a similar mistake that Seth's made in the past. So with that, what I'm going to do is take off my belt, get my camera phone out and take a picture of my erect phallus and send it to many women online. Why the f*** not?
Because we can't even swear, let alone.
Who the f*** are you? How about that moment where Steph claimed that he knew what moves Steph and Triple H were going to make before Steph and Triple H made them? Well, you didn't see that screw job coming a couple weeks ago when the WWE Universal Championship was online, did you, Seth? Did you you liar? You What's that? Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara for the second time in 2 weeks. That means only one thing, even though I know that the match ended in a little bit of a dubious circumstance, therefore a rematch is perfectly viable. That means one thing though, Chris. I'm sick of this shit. Get this right, Bailey called the WWE RAW Women's Championship merely the WWE Women's Championship. Now, since I take the piss out of JBL on SmackDown Live for doing this every week with the world title over there, what's good for the geese is good for the gander. It's Bailey o'clock! No! F you, John. This is just for you. Bailey doesn't deserve it, so jog on. Cesaro with the shortest phone call in the history of mankind. Now, I thought this was a WTF moment, and I know a ton of you thought so as well. That moment when Chris Jericho called Sami Zayn a happy-go-lucky leper. To me, a leper is a person with leprosy. Sami Zayn has leprosy, who the knew? But me and Chris have been doing some research, and apparently a leper also means a person who has been rejected or ostracized for unacceptable behavior, opinions, character, or the like. Anathema, outcast. Sami Zayn, outcast. Makes sense, doesn't it? I've just wasted about 30 seconds of your time, so... So then, before this week's WWE RAW came on the air, in fact, about halfway through last week, 6 cruiserweights plus new cruiserweight champion TJ Perkins were announced to be appearing on WWE RAW. Kendrick, Swan, Alexander, Metallic, Dorado, Dar. 6 plus the champions is 7. However, we got to this week's Raw, the launch of the Cruiserweight division. The f***ing champion wasn't even there, and 2 of the men announced for the Cruiserweight launch, they weren't f***ing there either. WTF. Stop playing f***ing pool! That there was just the hashtag gamer lads of WhatCulture.com playing pool while I'm filming a video. C***s. Every one of them. Peter Austin and his fetish for Jeff Jarrett. Big Ben. Nice beard. Nice man. Now then, as Raw was coming to a close this week, I was sitting there and pondering. Cruiserweights putting on a pay-per-view quality match. Chris Jericho reading off a f***ing long list. Are we sure this wasn't WCW Nitro? Did I drop some LSD and somehow find my way back in 1998? Chris, there's something wrong with your f***ing acid bunny lad. I've had a bad trip there. Really bad trip. Whoa. Hello, Marks. Hiya, how you doing? Yeah, Kevin Owens is such a coward for trying to win a cage match by escaping over the top of the cage or through the door. Before the match, they tell you win by pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage. Why the hell does everyone call the man trying to escape the cage a f***ing coward? Especially when the match was won by Roman Reigns. You f***ing guessed it, a man who climbed over the top and dropped to the f***ing floor like a sack of shit that he is. Oh, not calling him a f***ing coward, are you, with these lovely, beautiful black eyes? Why aren't they green anymore? Chris, your acid is f***ing up with my eyesight now. As you know, I love Ruru. I think he's f***ing brilliant, but why the f*** was he chaining shut the cage door when we had just seen a man win the match by climbing over the top of the bastard cage? What did he think he would achieve by closing the f***ing door with a chain when there's no roof? I just have to sit down and think about this one for a second. Don't know. So we end this episode of WTF Moments for WWE RAW with a little bit of rapid fire. 2 rapid fire moments. Here we go. Seth Rollins coming to the aid of Roman Reigns. WTF. Seth Rollins risking his life and limb for Roman Reigns 6 days away from what should be the biggest match of his pissing year. Jumping off the top of the cage like that, what the f*** are you doing? Body could have been broken. The match could have been ended before it even started. WTF. That's it for all the WTF moments from WWE RAW. I've been King Ross, you've been my loyal subjects. Buy the f***ing shirt now!
This Saturday on an all-new episode of WCPW Loaded, making his WCPW debut and first televised appearance since leaving the WWE, the 2-time WWE champion, Alberto El Patron. All this and more Saturday, 8 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern, only on WhatCulture Wrestling.